JR, Karen said as he got into the car. It's nice hanging out like this. I agree, Jared said. So how's government class? Dr. Fitzmiller? He's okay. Got a health care plan that might work. Communist pig! If you support that kind of plan, it gets the gays and pro-choicers exactly what they want. I don't support it. I say in theory in my work. They drive to TNC to have lunch at Randall Hall. 12:30 p.m. Back in the car, they had a brief conversation. Your sister Christine, how is she? As far as I know, she's fine. But she calls my friends the nerd herd. 4:50 p.m. Ken arrives at the Hendrick condo in Lubbock. Hey, once you get your bag settled, you want to go do something? JR asked. Us spending leisure time together? I love it, Ken said. 5 p.m. Mary Jo drives the car up. JR, man, it's good to see you, Ken said, getting into his car. Well, Kenny, JR said. Don't call me Kenny, Ken said. Well, we've got this. At the end of the summer, we moved on, JR said. I hope so, Ken said. Look, it doesn't matter what those two think, JR said. And I hope you got some souvenirs from our tour. I got plenty. Good. I wanted you to have the best trip and the best summer ever. JR had Mary Jo take them to McDonald's for dinner and games. 9 p.m. Sitting in the restaurant, JR and Ken talk. We did, JR. Had the trip off the visit to Independence Hall, the old donation church, everything. I just want to enjoy here in this moment, away from Brad, JR said. They put their glasses together. Hear, hear, Ken said. I worry about that piece. That piece, I think, is an uneasy one. May it not be worth the paper that it's written on. I hope not. 5 minutes later, back in the car. You have to admit it now. It was a big summer. And I can show you a good time, JR said. And the good news is, we're not freshmen anymore. We are gentlemen, Ken said. Okay, now we're going to go to September 10th. 5:40 a.m. Eastern. Jim and Claude get on the jet that they chartered to go from Philadelphia to Lawrence, Kansas. By 9:20 a.m. Eastern, the jet carrying Jim and Claude taxis down the runway in in Philadelphia and takes off for Lawrence, Kansas. Meanwhile, an hour behind, at 8:20, Fitzmiller is talking about the judicial branch and how it can help set policy. 10 a.m., JR is in Spanish class conjugating a new set of verbs. Meanwhile, in Lawrence, Kansas, Jim Stead touches down at the airport. They go straight to the rental car place to get a Chrysler van. Then they would drive straight to the hotel near the University of Kansas. The plan was to stay Friday, Saturday, and fly home Saturday night to Lubbock, and then be in Midland, Odessa by Monday. 3 p.m. Eastern. In a hotel suite in Lawrence, Kansas, Jim calls JR. I already talked to Coach Boynton. I told him to get for your team. I told him that we got the jet for your team so that your brother can come with you. Just before your heat, I'll be coming up to you, son, and talking to you. Any word from President Clinton? Any word from President Clinton, Dad? JR asked. No, he's too busy holding court with Al Gore than to talk to me. I only got emails from Martin Clardy, if you believe that, Jim said. Well, I love you, Dad. I have confidence in you. Mama says that you're coming home Monday and staying until Thursday morning. And then Thursday you're going right back to Thanksgiving. Who can blame me, son? I want Bill Clinton to notice me, son, for the simple fact that I campaigned for him. 4:15 p.m. Joe parked the car in front of the Hendrick condo. Let's roll, Kim said as he got in the car with JR. Good to hang out, my brother. 4:20 p.m. JR pulls up in front of Gordon Hall. According to your talking watch, JR, you are a tad late, Dave said, getting into the car. Okay, y'all. Let's say we do this. JR motions for Joe to pull out of the parking lot. We did it, guys. You've got to say we did it, Ken said. Historic church tours in Philadelphia and Virginia Beach, Dave said. Yeah, and the state capitol and Baton Rouge, and not to mention discussing it in JR's condo in Lubbock. Remember? That didn't turn out so well, JR said. Remember Brad raised a stink on the docks of the lake? Don't remind me, Ken said. But it's a good story. Look, Brad or no Brad, I was working most of the trip. I didn't like how the discussion ended, Dave Smith said. Look, none of this would have happened if JR didn't invite me on this trip. instead of Brad. Thank the dear Lord you invited me, JR, Ken said. Alright, look. You were the best choice, Ken. Brad and Jim Bob were ignoring me. The other choice was Dave, and he had to work this summer in Philadelphia. So it had to be you. All of us, Dave Smith said. All of us. They drove to Cafe J. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties with asthma. So, where did we leave off? They're at the Cafe J near Texas Tech. Alright. Now, as I said, they had eaten and played a game of contract running in 10,000. Now they are talking. You know, Dave Smith said, I see why guys on campus want Karen Crowder. Anybody that's a guy on campus wants to be with her. Ken smiled. I told JR that if he didn't want to ask her out, I want her, Ken said. Hey now, wait a minute, Gerald said. She's still mine. You understand? I like you. But in this case, I have a hard time understanding, Dave Smith said. Oh, that's a good point, Ken said, with a sly smile. Want to stay the night with me in the condo, Dave? Gerald said. Yeah, plenty of room. There's 2 bedrooms, and JR gave me the master bedroom. And he don't mind sleeping on the couch. Man, I don't know, Dave said. My suit and jersey are back at the dorm, Dave said. We can take you to pick it up, Ken said. No, that's alright, Dave said. All of a sudden my phone did something I didn't want to do. Let me guess. You have to study for macroeconomics, Jared said. 8:50 p.m. Back in the car. Ken, JR, and Dave. Think fast, Ken said. Who has a question for Captain Ken? Well, UTVB. How did you make it past college algebra? JR asked. Well, UTVB has a success center, Ken said. Dave, think fast. Are you a Mormon? Ken brightened. Well, of course I am. That means I'm also Christian. I like you, Ken. You're very gentle. And a lot more comforting, Dave said. Great, because that's what I want to be, Ken said. JR has Joe drive Dave to Gordon Hall, and then went to get a snack at the newsstand store before going back to the condo.